All right, good morning, everybody. How's it going? I am Cheeseburger Jesus, and I'm playing Satisfactory again because this is what I do when there's nobody around. Yeah, there we go. I need a little bit of audio from the game. Is it even coming in? Is that what that is? Yeah, I believe so. Okay, so I was doing a playthrough, and I got to a point where where I didn't have the blueprints and was not prepared to proceed any further, and so I came back to tackle some of the things I got hung up on and realized that it's actually less prepared than I thought. So I added some new factories to my modular setup, which you can see over here. And the latest one I'm pretty proud of right here is the automated wiring. It does 12.5 per minute. It's been, oh shoot, just about to fill up that container, I guess. It was about to shut down because it was full, but this is the basic factory template that I'm working with, and it's got an integrated elevator so we can visit every floor of it to review things, even in situations where we can't necessarily fly. And we can also get around on the stairway in case we're troubleshooting in situations where there's no electricity. It does produces this polymer that it sinks internally, and basically everything follows this design where I've got all of the materials being created or sent up these 8 things to the roof. And they run around in a little circle and come back down the other side before they get used. It's mostly for decoration purposes. You can see I've got quite a few factories working that way. I shut that one down because I needed the resources for testing other stuff. And over here I've got a Caterium factory that's working the same way. The iron, we're not drawing very much, so it's not moving very fast. The copper is, we're sinking the copper for perpetual motion effect there. And of course I have a turbo fuel factory here that's working very hard providing the power that we're using for this right now.
Ya Karen salir de acá y las uñas. Voy a comprar eso y ya arranco para allá.
All right, looks like Angie's on her way. Okay, so, and Amalia will be eating lunch and getting ready to work eventually. She may have worn herself out yesterday. It could be another YouTube day. Okay, so back over here, one thing that I'm missing in this array is, well, first of all, the signage looks terrible. You can't really see it because the lighting is behind it. So you need to update that on a lot of these, but moving forward, I've got the lighting up higher and the sign further back. The way that the lighting kind of spawns when you get close to it is a bummer because it would look really cool if you could see that from a distance. I wonder if there's a setting for that. Let's see here. Video resolution, graphics API, DirectX 12, max frame per second 120. Graphics preset of medium. Light quality, medium. Okay, let's go high, ultra. Let's go ultra on light quality and view distance and Let's see if that makes any difference. Nope. It does look a lot cooler. That's for damn sure. It looks a lot cooler, but I can see that the FPS are kind of lower, right? The action isn't as smooth, but oh my god, the lighting looks fantastic. I'm probably going to have to drop that down. Hey, Xerox, how you doing? My world's doing really good, man. Did you see this automated wiring factory I made? I'm just lamenting the fact that I set up this really cool sign. I spent all this time figuring out. There's an option with illumination. Okay, let me see. Let's see if I can find it. I adjusted the lighting quality. I turned on the light. I turned the light quality up to ultra, and it's definitely slowing down the frame rate. But is there other stuff? Oh no. Okay, conveyor belt quality, motion blur, advanced. I didn't see that you could scroll down here. Global illumination. Ooh. I have a feeling this is going to hurt because my graphics card isn't very good. Doesn't make any difference. When I back away, the lighting goes off. It's like they're trying to save electricity. Hold on. Okay, so that was global illumination medium. Okay, it only goes up to high. Okay. It still goes off. It still goes off. It doesn't look any better. I guess I'll just go back to some preset. Medium or something. Let's see here. All right. Yeah, well, it doesn't look as good, but at least yeah, well, I guess my lighting experiments were maybe they'll do an update. Maybe they'll do an update because I remember I think on Reddit people were talking about that too. That the lighting the draw distance on the lighting was locked really low. And there didn't seem to be any way to fix that. in game. Okay, so I need 3 of these then. I'm trying to set up one of these factories just for doing steel ingots. And I decided to do it 1 floor at a time. Oh, wait. I need to get that guy in the build gun so all of his options are the same. There we go. And I need 3 of these. But they're not going that way. All right, so if I can feed those machines, that is 600 steel ingots a minute. And if I can do 3 floors of that, whew, then that's a lot of steel ingots a minute. And I want this to be usable by somebody who has maybe not necessarily unlocked Mark IV belts. So we can't have more than 270 on each line. Am I going to do 4 outputs per floor? Or maybe we could make it like, because I have a good steel factory, already. Maybe we could make this just, the one that takes care of it forever, but once you've unlocked Mark IV, because that way, because I don't know, I think maybe 300 is enough. Maybe 300 is enough and I should only do 1 floor. It doesn't seem like we're using the space very much. There's nothing else that we need. Iron ore, copper ore, coal. All right, so one floor isn't very much for all that space. But we're being very efficient, so all right, whatever. Let's just do the floor. Either way, we have to do 1. And I think this goes like that. And go like that. And I believe that if we do this, we can go underneath and directly put a splitter in between to go off to each side. But that one needs to be facing that way. And Perfect. So both of those are hooked up here. And we can do the same thing here. And we might get with the splitter. Splitter, yes. Okay. And that feeds that. And nobody's crashing into anybody. And now I need to get that lift in there. Oh. Other side, buddy, other side. Come on, you can do it right here. No. Okay, splitter's in the way. I'm making a new world every few minutes because I'm trying to figure out a very specific way of playing because I don't want to build any factories in the world, you know. I just want to unlock, not until everything's unlocked at least. And so I'm trying to do all of my unlocks with blueprints and oh, come on, I forgot things. All right, so but I'm finding out that I need better blueprints. So I'm going through and did I still not? Oh my God, how many? It wants so many. I hate it when it needs like extra clicks to build. It's all like, no, but how many? Okay, so it's going that way. Can it go? Can you reverse these? I think the only way to reverse them is to stick that on them. And then what you can do once you've done that is oh wait, that's feeding the wrong way. Hold on. It needs to go that way. And there we go. Now we got a short one. It's taking up exactly the amount of space it needs and not a whole bunch more. Okay, so those two are fed. Oh wait, I gotta put the splitter back that I moved out of the way. Boom, boom. Oh, can I go like, So in order to get out of that, that's the only direction I can go. And this guy's in the way now. You never use blueprints. Blueprints are the best, man. You do all this work on a factory, and then you never have to do all that work again. You can just print the blueprint. You know, did I show you my Ziggurat Village collection of factories? And I think I was developing that the last time we talked. But I'll just show you something real quick out here in my little test area. This is like was an attempt at an all-purpose factory. It's 16 load balanced assemblers, and when you try to abbreviate that, it sounds like you're trying to say 16-pound ass. So it's like 16 lb ass. But that was a fun experiment, and that really works super good for making a lot of elevator parts quickly. But I made these factories, and I thought they looked kind of good, so I went kind of crazy, and I made a bunch of them, right? Like I started off with this iron plates factory for kind of early game. So this, you just feed your 120 ore into here, and it collects iron plates for you. I noticed a lot of my early game factories when I was just going fast to unlock that that you couldn't get around, you know. And then I've got the rods one. It's based on the same template, and so the thing is, when you put these down, you know, instead of like normally your factory would be blocking you and you can't move around, and so here these have like an integrated ramp system. So if you need to get to the other side, you know, you can. If you need to get to another factory, you can. And I did one for each of the major parts, and I got pretty far with it. And I'll show you real. And I made some separate mega prints. Oh, you can't mask delete blueprints. Interesting. Okay, so I made these mega prints for it, like, and I actually went and played a game, like a regular game where you don't fly and you need inventory to build stuff and things, and to test it and see if it was actually buildable. It was a challenge. I don't think you could do it with the standard inventory the game gives you, so I did have to mod my inventory up pretty high. So, but this is like the first 6 factories for things that you need for building materials at the start of the game, and they're already set up. And then all you got to do is feed your materials into here. And I didn't want to put signs up so you wouldn't have to unlock quartz before you could use it. But basically, you can tell if it's a Mark II belt, then you're gonna need 120, and if it's Mark I, then you need 60. Right. So this takes care of plates, rods, concrete, wire, cable, and copper sheets. Right. And then when that thing is going good, then that should give you enough stuff to make the second village. Well, I call them villages because they look like, well, at the time they looked like, hold on, I gotta delete that thing that's in the way. At the time they looked like little ziggurat villages to me. They don't look so much like that now that they're all built out. But I started calling the first 3 sets of them Zig Village 1, 2, and 3. I think a lot of players never got into blueprints as much as they would have if Coffee Stain had set up nudging sooner than they did. So this is the second set of little ziggurat factories, and this one does silica and quartz. So you have those. The idea is you come along here and you put your dimensional depots on top of each of these containers, so they're all feeding into your inventory, right? Screws, which, I mean, whatever. If you need screws, you can have some screws right there. Quick wire over here, and this one is rotors, and this one is reinforced iron plates, right? And so then I made a third one, and this blueprint has some bugs. I didn't fully test this one in production. There's a few belts that need to be looked at before it'll actually produce from when it's plugged in. Different from the first one and the third one. And now this is the third one, which is the last one that I did. And all these, I have all these factories individually too, right? Like not already hooked up into an ecosystem. And so Zig Village 3. Uh-huh. Yesca, tranquila. ¿Qué pasó? My dog is mad. Is it 8 clicks per foundation? Whatever. Anyway, this is the third one, and things are getting pretty ambitious at this point. But you see, the basic idea is I got tired of getting stuck in my own factory and having to build a ladder just to get out of it. So I set up some ramps here. This is the third one. So this ends up being your this is all your building materials, all the way up until you would have pretty much Jessica. Yeah. Sorry, my dog's losing her mind down there, making me lose. Oh, you better not. Hold on. Let me make sure there's nothing weird going on outside. Uh, Jessica, no. Nope. Just the neighbors' dogs are yapping, and somebody's beating the dust out of a carpet from a third-story balcony, and that's a weird sound for her. Okay, yeah. So this one does your steel, and it like really does steel. Like it does the hell out of some steel. Like you get 90 beams and 100 pipes a minute out of it. This one does the encased beams, and it only does 30, but still, those are hard to do. This one, this one got out of hand. This was when I did this one, it took me like 3 days, I think, and I was like, man, that is definitely the most dense factory I'm ever going to make in this series. This thing is crazy. It was really hard to get all that routing without any clipping, but this does 60 reinforced iron plates a minute. I kept getting into a bottleneck where I wouldn't have enough reinforced iron plates to build. So this one does 60 a minute. All you got to do, you got to get it hooked up. Get that stuff going into it, power it up, and boom. Just sit back and wait. And then this is, what does this one do again? Oh yeah, this one does modular frames, some reasonably low number. But yeah, you get stuck on modular frames a lot. So what's next is motors, right? But at this point, you can kind of start mixing and matching, right? And I got this like a quick assembler blueprint, and this will really slow you down. It gets complicated quickly, even though it seems like it's going to be super easy. You know, you just put this assembler down with the containers attached, and pick a recipe and put your 2 ingredients up here, and you're pumping away elevator parts, you're pumping away motors, because we don't have a motor solution for this factory series. But pretty much at this point, I'd already realized that this was not, couldn't get any more complicated without having a logistics floor. This single floor thing, the second I had to put this foundry up on this roof because there was no way to jam one in down below, period. I was like, yeah, okay, so back to our original modular format. I have this factory. Did I delete it or did I shut it down? But it made motors and rotors. And yeah. I think I deleted it, and this one was, you know what? This might have been the one. I think this is it. Yeah, and I deleted the feed of iron ore so that it would stop working. But I made this factory to do motors and rotors, and it turns out a lot of them, but man, this was a really hard one to make too. Let me see if I can fire it up with some iron ore without, because I don't have this I don't have this production line very well supplied, and I was running thin on iron ore from some of my many experiments. But let's see, where's the iron at? Iron is in on 3 and 4, and it looks like 3 has more to spare than 4 does. Not very scientific, but whatever. If this is input 3, then that must be output 3. But it's blocked. It's under there. I have another. Oh, look at that. I have an output waiting for me right there. Very good. My logistics system is a little confusing. Okay, so I need Mark III for that quantity, and come down here in straight mode so it looks good, and hook up right there. In goes the iron, and as soon as it populates the production line, that thing will come back to life, and it'll make a bunch of rotor and motor factories. I mean factories, rotor and motors. Rotors and motors. I need to put the name on this blueprint on the sign in front, huh? I didn't have circuit boards or computers, so I built those, and I had to go out and find a dot matrix font that was 3 wide and 5 tall. 5 by 7 is really ideal for dot matrix, right? That's really the minimum number for a smooth looking, for a smooth looking dot matrix font is 5 by 7. But you can scrunch it down. If you got too many letters, you can scrunch it down. You can still read it, but you do miss those extra pixels. All right, so wait a minute. How is our motors and rotors coming back to life? I don't see any new activity other than the We're producing something. Steel ingots? Why are we? I didn't even know we had steel going on over here. I guess we do. Probably because of all the screws we need. And the copper ingots come up the way. And as soon as those go back down the other side, we should start seeing some motors and some rotors. So where are you at in your world, Xerox? How's your Satisfactory rating been going? All right, the steel is stacking up because we're waiting on the copper, I guess. Come on, guys, do something. I want to see some products. Don't tell me I powered it down. Is that what I did? No, I didn't power it down because we wouldn't be getting the ingots. Here we go. Here comes a rotor finally. Or rather, oh, it's a motor. It's a motor. How about that? Ah. Yeah, I processed that stuff into plutonium. And then I had to deal with the plutonium waste. So I processed that into fixite and then burned that up. But man, my world got so radioactive. I'm burning through whole container loads of filters to get around in there. I kind of gave up on that world because I had made a lot. But that was the world that I developed this modular system in. It's a much more primitive version. Over there have been many refinements. Oh, look at that. Now everything's moving and we got more motors and rotors than we can even deal with. They're just going to be back to feeding into this sink in just a second. I need to decide once and for all whether I want my factories to bring in ingots or whether I want them to bring in ore. I guess because there's a conflict, you know. I like to break down into ingots because that's an easy process to consolidate, as you can see. All right, so now that demo is done, let's go back to designing one floor of our steel ingot factory. And at this point, I don't think okay. Okay, so that one's done. And but we need a way to get over to these two. So I need one of these here. Probably over there. And maybe one of those there, just to make sure it's facing the right direction. No, on this side. Can it be on this side? No. Didn't I already take care of that? Is it not close enough? Maybe. There we go. That takes care of it. Alright, that gives me a way to get over to Okay, same strategy. Connectors directly underneath. Oops. Okay. And okay, this needs oh, that's right. That's why we deleted that, because we realized that was not going to work. It needs to be facing out to the side, I think, right? I think we might have to do this in the actual factory. Hold on. Steel one floor. Delete all of this. And the actual floor. Okay. And what is that? Okay. Go. And how do we know if it's lined up? If it lines up over here. There we go. See, that's the nice thing about working in the Blueprint Designer. Okay, so these are getting iron ingots and coal. That is the height it was at, isn't it? I mean, yeah, that's too high. Too low. We're asking it to go too low. Why did it work before? Worked when it was on the other side. Maybe if it went down a level like that. There we go, that did it. Except I don't want to go that way. I wanted to come this way. Okay. So that means I'm going to need the input here. I think it's it's over there. It's then right next to it. Okay. Right here. Yes. Is that correct? Let's see. Adios. Needs to be one click to the left. I wonder if this can go in one more though. Did that work? I don't think so. It's unlikely. All right. Okay. Go there. One click this way. Is that it? Yes, that is it, but that's too low now. So I need one on top of there. Yes, I know how to filter. I know how to use the G key to filter. Okay, and now all of a sudden it doesn't like that. What's going on there? Ah, because it's sticking to the bottom one. Got to take away some options. There we go. That's all of that just to make that thing face that way. So that it wouldn't be in the way of okay, that might have been in and out of there. So how am I going to? Very good. Okay, I can go below here, and I'm going to need to this. Yes. Okay, why doesn't it want it? Needs to be an output down there, maybe. Yes, that's what's wrong. Okay. All right, so it's a splitter. So if it's coal, then coal is going to be the first thing into the factory. And we're going to need 400 of it. Ouch, that's a tall order. Did you see? Oh, no problem, no problem. Yeah, I have that too. I installed this mod. It's kind of cool. You can paint things really weird colors. They're all colors that appear in the game, but they're just reserved for certain things, and the player doesn't get to use them much. Like, look at these diamond, quartz, blood, heated metal, polymer resin, uranium, sulfur, fixite, all those different textures. But if you build something with that and then you disable the mod, it just goes back to the default swatch. It's not like, it doesn't make the item disappear, so all your buildings will still run, they just won't look as cool. Or, maybe they'll look more cool depending on how stupid you decided to make them look. Let's see, this is the diamond finish on this railway here. If I disable the mod and reload that, it'll just be the default orange swatch though. Okay, so that coal is going all the way over there, and we decided that this line here was the coal, right? Alright, so we got to make it through to here. Probably better off to start on this side and sneak around. There we go. Boy, those Mark IV belts are hefty, man. Let's get our oil finish so we don't forget what the hell we're dealing with here. Okay, so that's Mark IV. And that immediately gets removed 200 from it. So now it's Mark III coming over to here. I wonder if we can do a straight shot over. Oh my God. We can. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, and okay. And the rest of those inputs are for steel ingots. All right, man. Take care, brother. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you. All right, and the rest of these. Those need iron ingots produced by these three dudes. So that is going to go here. Let's go in here. Let's go in here. And back to take care of something real quick. All right, I'm gonna need to hydrate pretty soon, but okay, so one is that, and okie dokie, and okay, and we need Mark IV right here. Maybe if we keep things color-coded along the way, we won't get as confused. Normally tend to get when I do these things. Okay, so 2 is iron ingots now. Huh. Mark 3. Huh. Looks like that's already taken care of. Okay. Huh. What? No, that's supposed to be... Why is that? I seriously hooked this shit up to the wrong thing over here. Crazy. Alright. Conveyor wall, not the conveyor wall, the conveyor belt. Thank you. No. Wrong spot. Goes. Oh, that's right. It comes around into here. Goes out over there. Alright, and that's the one for the iron ore. For the iron ingots, my bad. Okay. And that goes in those. There we go. And then that was constructed so that it's probably not Mark III material anymore. They need 100 each. That's Mark II. Okay, but yeah, no. So it's Mark III over to them. Wait a minute. We're talking about 400 iron ingots. Okay. Okay, 133, 266. Okay, this needs to be Mark IV, and that needs to be Mark IV. Be that color, and that color, and then come around here. Do that and that. Yeah, make sure that I wonder how many boneheaded mistakes we're gonna make on this one when it comes time to so 400 minus 100 minus 100. That should also be Mark II because it's sending 200 out this way where there is no, okay. And I think just to make things simpler, we put the input behind it. We are going to need anchor for the scrunchies. There we go, scrunchies. Bye. Get you all prettied up. You, Mark II. Mark II, perfect. Wow, that lined up just right. Okay. Iron ingots have reached the end of their journey. No, just painted the wrong thing. We go back to the oil finish on that one. So you guys are all wired up. Very nice. Just some crisscrossy, messy as hell power connections. That's what you need. How did the stairwell fare? No, the stairway is no more. No stairway. Denied. Man, this is an embarrassingly empty factory. We've only got 2 products to throw over the wall. Well, no, not at all, actually. Not at all, because we haven't. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. We do it in 2 groups if we still mark 4, though. Just do a whole circle jerk and just run it up and down the waterfall a bunch of times, I guess. At least there'll be left plenty of motion to look at. Hey. So yeah, I can do 2 floors and totally double the output. Do I want to? All right, I think we see where this is going. And I am going to call it this point and start being ready for my other broadcast. I messed up my empty factory again. Okay. Steel experiment. Okay, see you guys later. We'll finish this factory in a bit.